Hey everybody, happy lunchtime. We're back. Hoping you can join me, or you are joining me. I am live here, new environment. I'm in my home office, and I'm just streaming from the office location with my good friend Marvin the Martian behind me. Hope everybody gets a little kick out of that. He's my favorite cartoon character, and I bought that for my birthday last year. It's one of those original cells from the cartoons. So anyway, welcome aboard. Give me a shout out if you're here. I appreciate you joining me today. This is the third in my lunchtime talks. I hope everybody's getting on well with their home working environment, and that things are going okay, that you're not going too stir crazy, and that you're bearing with it. It's not easy. I know that there's a lot of things going on out there. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of concerns. I heard recently, or in the last 24 hours, that people are pushing to get us back into the regular sort of working environment sooner rather than later. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I leave to the doctors and the people who who have the control to decide. I think we're I don't know. I think things are gonna get worse before they get better, unfortunately. So hopefully you're all following the orders, sheltering in place, staying home, not doing too much, not going out too much, avoiding contact with other people unless absolutely necessary. It's a struggle, I know. My daughter wrote a blog post about being kind of lonely and alone at this point in time, and it is scary. It's hard. It's difficult to be alone at this point in time. It's rough. Whether you're a widower or not. If you can't go out, if you can't spend time with people. As humans, we're social, interactive individuals. We want to be out. We want to be talking. We want to be seeing. We want to be spoken to. We want to touch. We want to feel. It's hard. It is really, really difficult to be cooped up internally, inside our homes, or in our neighborhoods, without having any interaction with the people that we normally like to interact with. So anyway, today's topic that I thought I'd talk about is what is sometimes referred to as Dharma. Dharma is kind of a vague term. It's very, in Western civilization, it's a vague term. In Eastern philosophy, particularly in Hinduism, it's got a very specific meaning. It's not vague at all. But certainly from a Western perspective and a Western interpretation, the Sanskrit of Dharma oftentimes is interpreted as your meaning or your purpose in your life. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that because, as individuals, we have a lot of power, internal power. We are powerful people. We have imaginations. We have we have these abilities to try and think for the future, deal with the past, but most importantly, we have this ability to be present and live in the moment, and that's really where I want to start from. Is that right here, right now, we are all together, right? Hey, Wendy, nice to see you. Thank you. Good to see you. I really appreciate everybody being here and giving me and blessing me with their presence. That's what I really wanted to say first and foremost, so thank you. But talking about our sort of gift that we're giving. Hey, Cheryl, nice to see you again. Thank you for dropping in again. I really feel like we have this deep need to kind of sense what our purpose and our passion and our power is as individuals. And our power stems from the heart. Okay, it really does. The heart is the pump house, the powerhouse of our lives. It is really what drives us, and the more that we can sense and feel that power and get in touch with it, the easier it really is to find our dharma, our purpose. And I really took some time, and it was a lot of hard work, and I'll admit it was a lot of tears. Hi, Rowena, nice to see you again. There were a lot of tears involved. There was a lot of struggle involved. I really struggled to find my purpose. Particularly after Suzanne died, I was lost. I was rudderless. I could not figure out what I was. The who, I've always had that who deep inside me. Yeah, we all have that. I refer to it as our capital S self, right? This all-powerful internal self that we have. Unfortunately, the small self, which is very much ego-driven, kind of suppresses that inner voice, that inner sense that we are, that we're powerful, passionate people with a purpose here in life. And I guess in some respects, my purpose is reflected here in my talks with you, because these talks are all coming from my heart. Everything that I talk about is, it's completely off the cuff. I don't have anything prepared other than the topic. And I am, like I said, I'm totally open to, to hearing from you guys about what topics interest you. Hey, Nita House, nice to see you, buddy. How's it going, Chris? So yeah, I mean, in terms of my purpose, and this is kind of where I'm coming from, I had to do a deep dive, and I sat with this sort of sensation for a while where, I didn't know what was going to come up or what was going to come out of what I was thinking and what I was feeling and what I was doing. But this one word just bubbled up. It literally just kind of came out of nowhere. It came from the bottom of my heart, right in my gut, and it was love. And that really is my true sense of purpose. For other people, it could be things like reality. It could be things like, I don't know, sharing your whatever gifts, whatever talents you might have. Artists, share their gifts through art, through sculpture, through acting. Those are gifts. Those are purposes. Those are dharmas that people have. It may be that, your purpose is to give to your community, like my friend Chris, who's a police officer. He gives to the community. He gives, literally puts his life on the line every day when he goes out to police the community, and yet, he does it every day, day in, day out, and it's his purpose, it's his passion. So it's that sort of thing that I think, we all have within us, but sometimes we lose sight of that. And I think today was really just kind of, me just talking about that and saying, hey, it's a really easy time to get sidetracked and to lose that sort of sense of purpose, especially when we're isolated or feeling isolated, from our day-to-day routines and what we normally sense as our community. So these kind of lunchtime gatherings, which I'm really grateful for all of you who come and spend some time with me here and interact with me and talk with me. I really appreciate that, and it does really bring this sense of community to me, and I hope it does for you as well. Just knowing that I'm here for you, and I'm open to talk about things that may concern you, that may that may be bothering you, and that maybe they aren't bothering you. Maybe they're just making you feel happy at the moment in time. You've discovered something new about yourself in this process. I mean, I'm trying to. I'm learning every day. I'm reaching out to people on Facebook and via emails, via texts, and I'm trying to, be a great father for my kids while they're, hundreds, even thousands of miles away. My youngest is in England, and I'm here in California. My two oldest are in Northern California. I'm in Southern California. So, it's hard. It's hard to keep those connections close. And, in terms of like what we do from a day-to-day basis, or what we sense we need to do from a day-to-day basis. I want to move. Hey Tish, nice to see you. Thank you for joining me again. Yes, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day. I think in all respects we've got to like kind of feel this sense within us that maybe this is an opportunity for us to really expand what it is that we feel is our purpose and our passion. And that's kind of where I wanted to start from. So my journey towards this started literally just a few weeks after Suzanne died in 2018. I don't have any pretense about how devastated I was, and I lost my way. I lost my purpose. I lost my passion for pretty much everything, and I didn't know what to do. Thanks, Rowena. That's a really good thing to put out. If you can find a link, that would be great. If you can put it into this, into the comment section after I'm done, that would be awesome. Thank you. So like I was saying, I kind of lost my way, and I think it's really easy to do that when we're feeling lonely and isolated and and disconnected in a lot of respects from not just our day-to-day life, but from people and from routines and things like that. So one of the things that I did was I started reading around various different things, and one of the other things that I'm going to talk about at some point is this, what I call the road untaken. And there's a Native American sort of folklore kind of thing. Hey Kathy, nice to see you. Thank you for joining. There's this Native American folklore thing about two roads, a red road and a black road. The black road is the easy route to to wherever you go, right? Through life. It's the road that is, I don't want to say mindless, but it's the least mindful way of walking through life. It's not sleepwalking, but it's not really living either. It's it's living without purpose. It's living without passion, or at least not living to the full potential of your purpose and your passion and your own internal power. The red road, however, is that road less taken, right? I think it was it Scott Peck who wrote the book The Road Less Taken. I can't remember. Anyway, so the idea is that we always have a choice. We always have the time to sit with our thoughts and our feelings and decide what road we want to take, whether it's the black road, the easy road, the one that doesn't challenge us or that doesn't force us to be the best possible version of ourselves, or we take the red road, which does challenge us. It's not. Thank you, Tish. I was right. Thank you. Sorry, Tisha. I call you Tish, and I'm sorry if that's incorrect. It's Tisha. So we take this road less traveled, this road that challenges us, that really allows us to let that purpose bubble up, that passion that we have, the dharma that we're meant to live. And like I said early on in this conversation, mine is love. It's about sharing my heart and my passion for, enabling people to be the best version of themselves from my heart. And however that manifests itself in you, you know, it's going to be different from mine, and from everybody else's. Nobody travels the same path. We walk alongside each other. We intersect. Our paths intersect, and they walk alongside each other. Even the 25 years that I was with Suzanne and the 23 years that we were married, we were never on the same path. We were always just walking alongside each other on different paths. And when she died, that's when hers diverged from mine, and mine went in a different direction. And Cheryl, it is scary. It's very, very scary to have to examine that and decide what road you want to take. The easy road is definitely the black road, as the Native Americans call it. So, that black road is fairly, innocuous. There's no, there are challenges. Everybody faces challenges every day. We're facing challenges in this time, day in, day out. There's a lot of anxiety and fear around, what's going on. But, even if we're walking on the black road, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's super easy. It's just easier to walk that road without really diving deep into your purpose and to your passion. Hi, Christy. Lovely to see you. The challenge is to fight your way through to the red road, to the road less taken, and really explore what you feel and what you sense about what your dharma, what your purpose really is. We all have gifts to give the world, and it's a challenge to really figure out what your gift is, unless, like I said earlier, you're an artist or an actress or actor, or you've just got to, take that, that first step towards whichever, path you want to go down. Kathy, you're right. It's one step at a time. And I often quote the Martin Luther King Jr. Quote, which was, "You don't have to see the whole of the staircase. Just take the first step." And that's a really profound and powerful statement, certainly around particularly finding your purpose and your passion. Oftentimes, and we've said it here a couple of times today, it can be scary. And there's a lot of uncertainty about everything, about anything we do. And I've challenged myself in ways that I probably never would have if I hadn't almost been forced to by the by the loss of Suzanne and my inability to kind of find my true nature. The hard part was digging deep, was diving deep into my heart and really getting back in touch with who and what I am. Now, I often say to people, I struggled really, really hard to find what I am. Not the who. I've mentioned this a couple of times in my talks, that who, we are this eternal sort of, energetic being. All of us are that who really never changes. The voice that I heard in my head when I was a child, when I was a teenager, when I was a young adult, is the same voice that I hear in my head now. It's the same me, the capital S self that has been there all my life, right? My ego, which is the smaller self, I've talked about this before, oftentimes kind of pushes that voice down or shoves it to side because, it doesn't necessarily protect us, right? Being vulnerable and being open and honest with our feelings isn't always the easiest thing to do. So the ego protects us from putting ourselves out there in a way that is, that's maybe not, helpful to the ego in that respect. I really think that if we can take a step back, tame that ego in some respects. A really good friend of mine, actually, she gave me a great visual on this, is, ask your ego to heal, like a dog. Just heal, ego. Don't stop me from doing what, what I'm really meant to do just to protect me. And that's what the ego does. So this capital S self is there. It's always there. And getting in touch with that, and listening to that capital S self is so important in terms of trying to find your dharma. And and I really think that, and yes, Christy, thank you for pointing that out. I really do hope that, this situation that we're in now, this pandemic, this challenge that we're all facing, is going to encourage us to be more open and honest, not just with ourselves, but as a society, as a global society. I've got family and friends all over the world, people who are challenged by, their own, thoughts and feelings around this situation. And, and we all struggle with it. We're all struggling a little bit here. I think particularly those of us who live alone are struggling because of that additional lack of interaction with, with human contact. But that, again, is part of the reason why I'm, doing these daily Facebook Live posts, because I really feel like it helps to build us, a community, a closer knit environment where we can really have the time to connect and to think about things like, what is our passion? What is our purpose? This extra time at home, and it's slowing a lot of people down, right? Because oftentimes, we lose ourselves in our day-to-day routine. Hey, Flora Hill, nice to see you. I'm glad you've been able to join us. By slowing down and by purposely being more present in each moment, I think it really does kind of almost energetically lends itself to thinking more about your purpose and your passions and everything else. As long as you can avoid the whole anxiousness and stress that sometimes accompanies being in our own heads, and bear in mind that a lot of that is the ego trying to protect us. And if you can heal that and you can pull that back and say, hey, I'm okay, I'm safe, as long as I'm taking precautions to protect myself from the virus and whatever, and not needlessly exposing yourself to risks, by sheltering in place or by staying at home most of the time, you are going to be safe. It's it's not necessarily it's not a foregone conclusion. I'm not saying that there's no way that you might not get this virus, but I think it's unlikely if you follow the guidelines that the CDC and the World Health Organization are pushing out. But we all have the resources internally to really rise up to the challenge of addressing what it is that we truly want, what our true nature really wants us to be, and who and what we truly are for ourselves. And like I said, it takes some thought and it takes some time, and it is a challenge. But I'm pretty sure that you can get there if you want to. And I'm pretty much done talking. If anybody wants to add anything or mention anything, please feel free to drop a note in the comments. But if not, hey, I really thank you for joining me, and I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.